This question's from Jessica. I'm new at property management and I have a question as I know you've been at it for a while. I screened a tenant. I screened a tenant screened. She came back with an eviction dismissal. What do you do? Um, a dismissal is where the judge decided, whether or not the tenant has to move out or gets to stay in the rental property. What probably happened, so it sounds like that's what you're confused about. So it sounds like you feel that the judge actually met with the tenant, brought the tenant into court, and said, "Okay, I'm dismissing this. You don't have to move out." Um, the judge saw something and some reason why the tenant didn't have to move out, and that might be the case. But what's likely is that the tenant either paid, and the property management company or the attorney that was doing the eviction had to abort it. So, or one didn't need to go through with it, so they went ahead and aborted it, and that's likely what happened. The property management company probably didn't have to go through with the eviction, so the tenant just willingly left. They negotiated with the tenant, and the tenant said, "Okay, well, I will leave if you just let me go." Um, and then it's kind of sometimes called cash for keys, where you actually pay a tenant who's not paying their rent just to leave. It's a good investment strategy because eviction is very expensive, especially considering that vacancy. You're not getting your rent is involved. So getting that bad tenant out ASAP, even if you have to out of pocket it, is a really good strategy. And that might have happened. The tenants likely either paid. You would just need more information on it. It's a tough call because I don't know what we would do. We do see tenant, you know, disruptive activities when we run credit applications. And the problem is as a property manager, owner of a property management company, I believe there are far worse landlords out there than there are tenants. There just are. I'm not pro tenant rights in some of the excessive states where it gets a little nuts. And there's certain issues I have with that, but I've seen some really horrible landlords. And even answering these questions, the questions I get sometimes, you're like, God, don't like what? Like, don't be a landlord. You should not be a landlord. You're a horrible human being, and you break the law. So I see these questions constantly coming in from just some folks who just have no rights to be. They should have no right to be a landlord. So it's a tough thing for me to kind of say whether or not you should move forward with this tenant or not. And it's a little bit tough for me to answer your question because I would have to know more. Again, it just is either got dismissed by a judge, or more than likely the tenant paid, or possibly the property management company or landlord kind of negotiated with the tenant just to leave, and they just agreed to let it go. I don't really have good advice for you. Just good luck, and hope you have better time real estate investing going forward.